Hi guys, welcome to Learning Electronics Repair. I have a microscope here, Tomlov 4K, model TM4K-AF Flex. I reviewed a similar microscope to this a little while ago. In fact, it's used regularly on the live stream on the electronics channel every other Sunday. So what makes this one different enough for me to review? Well, first of all, this has this flex arm. So I did find the other one had quite a large base. I mean, it did allow you to, for example, look at ATX motherboards all the way to the center. You could easily get the item on there, but it took a lot of space up on the bench. So this has an arm, as you can see, that bolts onto the bench at the side, and then you can rotate and swing this around. So hopefully this will take up less space. And the other thing that is really interesting about this is it is autofocus. Okay, that's the first time I've seen an autofocus USB microscope. So let's set this up and let's have a look. Let's see how well this actually works. First of all, of course, we need to have a look in the box to see what we actually have here. Well, in fact, the box is really large, so it's blocking my face camera at the moment. I've just switched that off. So we have a silicone type work mat, the user manual, of course. This shows the stand that is on the previous microscope, which was non-autofocus. I have the flex mount. So there are two models of this autofocus microscope. We have AF Flex and we have AF Max. AF Max has this fixed stand. These are quite large, and this has a 10-inch screen, where the Flex version has an 8-inch screen. That's, as far as I know, that is the main differences. Then we have the microscope itself. Okay, here. Various leads. Little power adapter, cleaning cloth, all the sort of usual things you would expect to have, or at least the things that are nice to have. And then we have the actual stand itself. So I'll put this together, remote control, and let's see how it looks when it's assembled. Okay guys, I have this set up. I'm using my side camera. It's the only way to really show you this. So because the way my bench is arranged, without effectively sliding the whole thing out, I can't easily mount this at the rear of the desk, and I can't mount it at the side because there's like a wooden panel here which goes all the way down, but I can mount it from the front. So I actually have this mounted, as you can see right now, on here, and that's solid. That is solid. Okay, I then have the microscope mounted on the arm, so I can just show you this. I can actually move all this completely out of my way from there, or it actually rotates the whole thing from here. The leads are not long enough to reach my display, but that's basically because of the way I have my bench wired up. I can easily fix that. That's nothing to do with the microscope. It's just the extension lead from my HDMI into my recording system isn't long enough, that's all. So I can put that microscope completely out of my way and work on the bench. In which case, apart from this lead I just mentioned, it's out of my way. Doesn't interrupt the way I'm working, okay? And then if I want it, I can just easily move the whole thing in. So that works really well. I will say that to start with, okay? Now, there are a couple of little issues here I just want to mention, because this is just stupid, really, to be honest. The ring light came with a lead like this on it. So this is for the LED ring light that fits onto the microscope, okay? It says it's 80 to 220 volts, so it's obviously for USA and UK the same, no problem worldwide, and this is probably a plug for the US market. It also came with the power supply, so this is a USB power supply. You can either leave this connected and run the microscope so it just continually recharges from here, or you can run it from its battery and charge it when you're not using it, or switch this if you need to. And that has the same plug on. So we have two of those. Now, I have EU sockets, I'm in the EU. So my EU sockets look like this. Okay, EU power sockets. Obviously these don't fit in. But it comes with an adapter. Now this is a silly thing. It comes with one adapter, okay? That's the adapter. I can put it on here, but I still need one for this, so I only have one adapter. And anyway, the adapter is totally useless because I can't fit it into the socket. So, why? I have to ask that. I mean, this is a very nice piece of kit, but that is A, completely useless, and B, I don't have enough of them. Yeah. It just so happens I have another extension lead, which is actually a UK one, wired to an EU plug, so I can plug this into here. This thing, by the way, just falls out, and the fact it just falls out is not a problem with this. Okay, it's a problem with that. So, Tomlov, come on, give us the right sort of plugs, yeah, or something we can actually use. That is, in all fairness, a bit of a niggle more than anything else, but I would expect better. This has rather nice cable management, in as much as the HDMI from the back of the microscope and also the power lead from the ring light goes up into this cover. These clip on and clip off. You can put them on either way round with the slot at the top or at the bottom. Okay, so you can put them either way. Again, just due to the way my bench is wired up, I need a longer extension on the HDMI, and then I can run the cables all the way through here and also through this. So the cable management is really nice. Back to these little niggles. You see, this has like a mini or micro HDMI connector on here. I've put the lead down through this gap here. If I don't do that, it catches on the bracket and it still hits it. You see there, as I come up, if I just get an angle on that for you, the cable hits the bracket. Really, this should be supplied with a right angled connector here. I know you can get them. Then that wouldn't be a problem. I don't think it's actually going to get tangled up on there, but it's just one of those things. And the other issue I have with this, and I'll just mention this, so this screen, you can angle it, okay? At this point it hits the bracket, but that's quite angled upwards, yeah? But at this point it hits the ring here that mounts it. And you can't put the ring lower down because you would obscure the buttons on the control. So we have some control buttons on here. Okay, I'll just tell you what they are. We have a preset focus 1, preset focus 2, plus and minus a manual focus, and this is autofocus. So this is not like a rotating ring to focus, this is touch button, yeah? I mean, don't get me wrong, this is very solid and this works well. I can move this easily out of my way and I can go right across the bench with it, to be quite honest. It's just like the little niggle, so I can't actually put the screen angled downwards or even directly in line with me. I can only go as low as that, okay? Now let's actually try the microscope itself, because I'm sure that's what you all want to see. I have a motherboard here. It's not in focus. I'm going to hit the autofocus button. Oh, and it autofocuses nicely. Okay. But I'm interested to see now if I move. Yeah, it's there. Look, it's auto-focusing. I move it back down. Autofocus. Yeah. That's good. Yeah. That's really nice because it's one of the main problems I have. Especially if I'm having to angle something to try and get the light on it. I'm having to mess with the focus. That is nice. Oh, I do like. Yep. Couple seconds, autofocus. Huh? Makes a little click, click, click noises, it does it. It's so good, I like sort of keep on playing with it, yeah? Now there we can see that it's focused on the PCI slot, but not on the chips. Maybe if I just move it slightly, it'll refocus. Obviously, it doesn't really know exactly which one to focus on. We have a manual focus. I'm just touching the button. Yes, if it hasn't actually focused exactly, you can actually manual focus. Actually, the manual focus is quite awkward to use because by the time it sort of like, if you hold the finger on, it'll go past the point you want of. You know what I mean? Auto. Yeah. Okay, I have the microscope not at the top. I'll just move it up to the top of its actual position. So this will set the actual magnification basically. So I've adjusted that up to the top. Let's go back over to it. Okay, just autofocus. Yeah. So that's effectively the minimum magnification when it's mounted on this stand. I'm sure this has a digital zoom as well, but this is just the actual optics of it, if you like. Let's go down, so we'll now move it as close as we can. You can move this closer by adjusting where the arm on the stand is itself. I'll show you in a moment, but that's as close as it will go. Autofocus. Yeah, I do like that. This motherboard's quite corroded, you can see, by the way, just looking at it, it's just one I happen to pick up. So at the closest position, you can see now I have about, well, let's measure it. Yeah, 17 centimeters roughly working space. I say closest because that's with the arm at the top of this, but I can actually slide this further down and get closer than that. But that's probably the minimum working space you would really want to work with anyway. Let's have a look in the menus. Now, you'll notice that when I hit menu, it appears on the screen here, but you can see the monitor behind. It doesn't appear on that. This is the same as the previous Tomlov microscope I was looking at. Okay. What do we have in here? We can record and playback. So this takes SD cards. You can record and playback on here. At the moment, I was set to 52 megapixel, 4K, P30. So at 4K, this is 30 frames per second. That's how I have it set at the moment. Yeah, we have the autofocus setting in there as well. We can set it on the shortcut button to either take a photo, to take a video. And this does a split screen effect as well. I showed this again on the previous Tomlov microscope, which is the same as this one without the autofocus. So to save doing all that again, I will just link that for you. You can have a look at that video. So I'll link that in the video description to this one. The split screen actually does work rather well. And the freeze also, it allows you to take one image, hit freeze, move maybe to something else, take another image, you can compare them easily and quickly. So that's what that basically does. We also have a 1080p setting as well. Now I've tried this when I'm showing you is through my capture card. So in actual fact, you get the same resolution whether I'm showing you at 4K 30 or at 1080. And my video is actually on YouTube at 1080, so it's not possible to really show you exactly how that is at 4K, just by the limitation of my recording system. Nice to see we have 1080 at 60 frames per second though. Again, my camera system, the rest of it is mostly 30 frames per second, so this video is 1080 at 30. Again, we have some nice cursor lines you can put on here to show you when things are level. You can take measurements. I was playing with this again on the other video where I was actually using it to measure components, so I worked out how to scale the grid on here so it was actually coming up in millimeters or tenths of millimeters. Once again, I'll just link the other video, guys. Yeah, so that's a quick look around the menus. Just one other thing I will mention, because if I don't, somebody will say, have you noticed? So this mount on here, this is where you adjust the height. It actually has a little bit of play in it. You see that? So you can see the play in the microscope. That's a little bit of play here. So it's where the actual ratchet thing here goes. The rack has a little bit of play. Adjusting the screw doesn't seem to make any difference to that. And you can probably see on the monitor behind me that gives you a little bit of play. Now, it's not an issue in as much as the thing will stay still when you're using it, because it does stay still when you're using it. But if you knock it, it like moves a little bit. But having said that, I do find this whole arm very solid and very rigid. I mean, I'm on very high magnification right now. So if I just tap on the bench, you're going to get some movement. But that's true with any microscope, to be quite honest. Even my optical one on the large double boom stand does that. Again, we'll just go up to the top, hit autofocus. Okay, but that's not unusual for microscopes. Another thing that I showed on the previous review video, just one other feature I'll mention actually, like the non-autofocus version, this has the real-time tri-screen display, so you can connect both USB and HDMI to the microscope, connect both of them as video sources, one to a monitor, one to your PC for example, without a capture card, and you can actually display on both those screens plus the built-in one at the same time. That's really nice. You can also angle this as well, so this will tilt around basically to 90 degrees. Okay, so I can hold, you can see I've got a motherboard in my hand, the same one, I can hold this in my hand. Okay, again I can hit autofocus. Okay, I'll move a bit further away actually. So that makes this very easy to look at things that would be very difficult. I mean, some things you cannot get under the microscope. So that's another really nice feature of this. And that autofocus is working well. I mean, even though I'm moving this around, it's continually adjusting to it. That's something you normally cannot do with a USB microscope or any other sort, not easily. Another feature I would like to see on this is being able to autofocus with the remote. I mean, the remote doesn't have a button for that, and I honestly, for the life of me, can't see why it shouldn't have. Yeah, it's like, why not? That would be nice, because I can see myself using that autofocus feature a lot with this, yeah. I'd like to try something else with this microscope. I'm not going to do it on this review, but I'll try this on my regular repair videos. Without doubt, it fits a lot better on my bench than the one with the stand. The fact that I can sort of swing the thing completely out of my way when I'm not using it is really good. Now, above my bench, you can see my Sony camera up there. That's overhead cam. I have this metal bar that's mounted to, and also behind that the fluorescent lighting and another wooden beam there. I don't see why I couldn't mount this microscope arm upside down from the overhead. Okay, so that overhead basically just goes directly across my bench, by the way, to the other shelving over there. That's how it's mounted. So I should be able to clamp that arm on upside down onto one of the existing beams, or just put another beam across there. Okay, if I do that, then effectively this, which is raising the microscope upwards a bit, would actually be dropping it down a little bit, because this is the other way up. And you can actually mount this arm either way up, by the way. You could mount it the other way up, not a problem. So I should be able to suspend this actually above the bench and end up with a working distance that is probably not that much different from where I have it now. Let me see. So yeah, top of this bracket from the bench, 47 centimeters. If I measure from the arm above, 56. So I get slightly less magnification at that height, but it probably wouldn't make a great deal of difference. Most likely I don't use a microscope with a full magnification anyway, it's too close. The same applies with this. This bracket can also be mounted in the other way around as well and extend that way. So I'm going to try that at some point. I'm going to mount this above the bench. Obviously this depends on how your bench is set up. I think for my setup that may work better. Yeah. To do that I need to extend some cables, but hey, I'll give that a go. We can try that again another time. So what do I think? I think there's a few, like, there were some silly niggles, like why not give me the right power adapters? It didn't stop me using it, but if I bought this I'd expect to have the right power adapters. Why don't I have the autofocus button on the remote? Yeah. Or for that matter, even the manual focus on the remote. And then there were some very good things. So this arm is very rigid. Yeah, that is really built like a tank. Yeah, it's not flimsy. It doesn't feel cheap. And to be quite honest, that's what you would expect for something of this quality. And the autofocus really works nicely. I do like that autofocus, without a doubt. That to me is like the selling point with this. And although I haven't looked on the market, I haven't noticed any other autofocus USB microscopes out there. And I do believe that they claim this to be the world's first anyway. You can buy the Tomlov TM4K-AF Flex and AF Max microscopes both on Tomlov's own website. You can buy these directly, and you can also buy them from Amazon. At the moment, the TM4K-AF Flex is on Amazon US, and the TM4K-AF Max will be on there in around about 1 week. For UK and EU buyers, these products will be placed onto the appropriate Amazon sites next month, they are telling me, hopefully next month, okay? But if you are a UK or EU buyer or somewhere else, not in the US, you can purchase direct from their own website. There are some discount vouchers available. I've put them on the screen for you now and also in the video description. At the moment, there is no expiry date on the discount vouchers, but that may not always be the case, so you know, there's no better time than now. You can see this is a premium product. This is not a budget product, but I do believe it has some really unique features that I liked. Obviously the autofocus is something I've not seen before, and it worked very well. The same with the flex arm. That means I can look at items as large as I like on my workbench. I don't have to worry about them hitting the stand. I don't have a large stand on the workbench either to get in my way when I'm doing other work. It's just ideal for me. And the fact I can actually rotate the microscope through 90 degrees or set it to any other angle, to be quite honest, between vertical and horizontal, means I can get to look into places that are just not accessible with microscopes. I mean, in particular, I'm thinking looking down into HDMI and USB connectors. I want to see if there's any damage internally. I often have to position the microscope over the end of the bench, so it's overhanging my bench, put something heavy on the back so it doesn't fall off. It's just inconvenient. This, I'm sure it will make that much, much easier for me. So I think really this is going to appeal to certain types of buyers, I'm sure. I'm sure there's many of you out there who feel that, well, my cheap microscope works, and I'm sure there's going to be many of you out there who see the advantages of having this sort of equipment. Personally, I love it, and I'm being honest about that. This is going to get used. This is staying on my bench. This is going nowhere, yeah? So that means you will be seeing plenty of it in future. I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you're considering buying one of these. And I look forward to seeing you all soon on another Learning Electronics Repair video. Ciao for now, guys.